this is something I use actually to explain problems to patients, because it also involves medicines.
I think this is interesting because it shows you a context in which to put this stuff.
And when people come to me with problems of the mood, or really any psychiatric problem, it can always be broken up into 3 parts. Okay? Causes of the problem break up into 3 parts. There's a biology part, a psychology part, and a stress outside your boundary part. Okay? And for each of these, there's a cure. For biology problems, people need a medicine cure. You can think of your brain's biology as being like its hardware. Okay? If you get broken hardware, you got to replace the hardware. You can't make a software program fix hardware. You need a medicine for that. But psychology problems, the psychology part of a problem is about your style. It's about your character and your style. And it's something that can only be fixed by education or therapy. And it's like having a software problem. Okay? So you can imagine there are all kinds of ways of viewing this. A lot of people run a more antiquated, older version of their operating system, and it doesn't matter how great the software is. If your operating system is really old and sort of screwed up, it's not going to work. So we need to fix this up with teaching and with therapy. And then the last part of any problem is stress. And interestingly, the only cure for stress is you making a decision about the stress, to either think about the stress differently or get away from it or fight it or do something about it. You are the cure for your own stress. Well, there's an unfortunate situation here. If we're in stress long enough, it starts to hurt our psychology and our character and our style and makes us undergo what's called regression. Have you ever seen a normally fairly mature person under stress? They act like a child. That's regression. And it makes your psychology kind of go backwards, okay, and be more faulty, or you see the glass half empty instead of half full. The longer you're in that kind of negativity and immaturity, this can actually start to affect your brain biology, and you get a decrease of brain serotonin. If you're in stress long enough and you have negative style of psychology long enough, it actually starts to hurt your chemistry. And then this is when people come into me for a medicine. And then we can fix this up with the medicine, but unlike what certain drug companies might like you to believe, there's not a drug for every problem. And medicines only fix brain chemistry. They do zero about your style of psychology. And they certainly do zero about the stresses in your life. That was the guy that wanted the Valium. He had a stress in his life in the form of girlfriend doing drugs, and he was hoping that a med would somehow fix that. So there's a boundary between your psychology inside and the stress outside you. And we need to learn to master this in order to stop this. Okay?
Does that make sense? How many times we humans try to solve one of these problems with something that solves another problem, a different problem? When you apply a cure for the wrong problem to your problem, not only do you sometimes make your problem worse, but you create a new problem that you didn't even have before, because whatever it is you are applying isn't fixing the thing it was designed to fix.
Yeah, like drug addiction happens for that reason.